Welcome to 2019, everybody. I know it's already February. It's been a interesting last year. I know I only put out a couple of videos in 2018. I want to give you an update of what's going on at Cripple Concepts World Headquarters here in Aurora, Colorado. Not a lot of brand new stuff, but been making tweaks over the last year. 2018 was rough for me personally. I had some medical issues. For the folks that understand, I had some skin issues and I had some osteomyelitis, which is a bone infection, months of IV antibiotics, and I've been going back for the doctor once a week for the last year. But most of that's behind me now, so 2019 should be good. Just as my health got good, though, at the end of the year in November, Colorado got a new governor, and I was asked to join the transition committee for the healthcare departments to work on finding new executive directors. And so that took up a lot of my time in November and December. Ultimately ended up quitting in protest, but that's another whole story. The good news is things are going good there, and the bad news is that means that I'm still quite involved, and so it will take away some from the business this year. But I still think I'm going to be able to get a lot done out here, as well as work a lot with the new governor's office and especially our state Medicaid department, and hopefully make things better for people with disabilities, be able to make sure people can be employed and keep their Medicaid, which for people like me, as I mentioned in previous videos, is really important. So I want to kind of walk you through some of what's on the website as of today. It's February 3rd, I believe, maybe February 4th, 2019, and I hope to have a few more things by the end of this year. But rather than trying to get a lot of products on the website, I actually took off the things that weren't selling well, and I focused on things that I think people want, need. Some's for fun, some's for use. But I'll do a quick walk through everything, and then I'm also going to do videos about each individual item, because I get a lot of questions that are hard to explain in writing, but are a lot easier to explain when I'm holding the device in my hand. Can actually show you what it does, how it works, what the difference between a couple things are. So this video might be a little bit longer than some of those on the individual items, but I want to give a brief overview of everything that is currently on the website, what it is, what it does, and why we sell it. So I'll jump over to that. Be right back. All right, so here we are at the grand display of all the 2019, at least the spring 2019, Cripple Concepts offerings. So we'll start over here at the bottom right. These are the latest version of what we've been selling for a while for knobs. So they come in Delrin plastic, this black plastic, which is a really heavy duty plastic. Silicone band in the middle there for grip. And then there's two set screws. You can see one up top here and then one directly opposite of that. They also come with a wrench and this little bushing. And the little bushing is used on Invacare wheelchairs. I believe there's also some of the Chinese brands use the smaller stems, but that makes these universal, so they fit basically any chair on the market. The aluminum ones are about twice as heavy. I don't recommend these for people who have a reclining chair because if you tilt back, the weight of this knob, because it is a fairly tall knob, is enough that it actually will start to drive your chair backwards. So yeah, these knobs are almost 2 inches long. So yeah, they're not light. So yeah, those have been kind of various versions around for a few years now. The set screws really help hold the knobs in place. So if you're a person who has a lot of trouble with your knob coming off your chair, these really help. The double set screw actually started with a buddy of mine who has very spastic cerebral palsy, and he would yank whatever knob he had off because he just grips his knob tight when he starts to have an arm spasm, and he would just rip it off. So I did one set screw for myself. That wasn't enough, so we went to two for him, and so the two screws, you can thank Jose for that. Next over here, this is a cookie cutter. My girlfriend wanted a cookie cutter, so I made her a cookie cutter. Trying to tilt it up here. Sorry, I can't actually get over to where these are because the camera's in the way. These are 3D printed. They're about 2.5 inches tall. Basically, they make a wheelchair-shaped cookie. I don't know how well it's picking up on the camera, but the inner part here, where like is the inside of the wheel, basically, that is a little bit lower than the outside here. So that's just an indent. So you end up with one whole cookie. You have to do a pretty basic recipe with these. Any kind of real sticky dough, or a dough that really melts out a lot, just kind of blobs it all together. But those are just kind of fun and neat. They're probably better at Christmas time than they are in February. Oh, I should actually talk to the 3E people and make a wheelchair heart design. Maybe next year. So next up is the latest thing that actually popped on the website, and these are wheelchair symbol fidget spinners. Just a random idea I had one day. Played around with it, and I got the center of gravity of the center mass of the guy to be right here at the pivot point, so they actually spin really well. They come in, these are stainless steel caps, which are silver, and then the brass centers. This one you can see says adapt on the arm. That's an added feature that if you want to do 10 or more, we'll do different names on there. So, you know, for independent living centers out there and other organizations like that, we'll add the name on both sides of the arm, so it's mirror image on the other side. So these are just kind of fun. I am working on another idea for those of us like myself who actually can't hold these, for another idea of something to fidget around with, but we'll get back to that later. I'm having lathe issues. Top right here, this is the tried and true charger we've had for a couple of years. Simple, basic. This will do 5-volt USB. It's got a USB-A output on it. One of the things we added in the last year was this lanyard. So now they've got a lanyard on them, so you can actually hold on to them. That's a nice little add-on. These are short. These are pretty small, which was an effort to make them really small. But then it turned out to be a problem for people with limited hand function. So sometimes you think you know the direction you're going, and it doesn't always work out best. But overall, I think people like those still. They come with so we sell these two ways. One way is just the charger, and all you get is this charger. The other way is a kit. It comes with this case, just a little zippered case. Also throw a lanyard on those to make them easier to hold. A little light, which is a USB powered light that goes in the end. You know, kind of like a little headlight. They're not super bright, but they're better than nothing. And then your choice of cord, we have 3 different cords. One is a type C USB, one is a micro USB, and then the other one here is a USB or an Apple Lightning cable. Those are all 18 inches long. I do offer a 39-inch of the iPhone. A few people requested that, so I did pick up some of those, so that is an option. Moving on over here, we have the turbochargers, and these were new last year. So these come in 2 varieties. I originally did them in 4, but it turned out everybody was only ordering the 2, and it makes it a lot easier to have them pre-built if I limit the number of options. So we have 2 versions, the 90-degree version and the straight version. So the straight version basically will work for anybody, but sticks a little farther out the chair. The 90-degree version will work if your 3 holes for your charging connector are in a position that works for you. For some people it doesn't. So it's kind of a up to you choice. We have pictures on the website. These come with a case, and we were only offering them with USB Type-C cables, but we're going to offer them with actually all 3 cables. Just you can pick which one works best for you on the pull-down menu. The difference between these chargers and the standard charger. The standard charger will charge everything, but on some of the newer devices, it will charge it slow. So on anything with a USB Type-C connector, which is this connector here, and I don't know how well that's coming up on the camera, but it's an oval-shaped connector. It can go in 2 different directions. So if you have a device with rapid charging, turbocharging, they call it different things with different companies. The turbochargers will put out more power. So these will actually put out 5 volt, 9 volt, or 12 volt. So they'll put out 5 volt. If a device can only handle 5 volt, there's a smart chip in these that will only put out what the device can take. So if a device doesn't send back a message saying, hey, I can take more voltage, these will only put out 5 volts. So these are safe for everything. But if you have a newer, I tested this on several Android devices. I've had customers tell me it works well on the newest iPhones. I haven't personally tested those, but they use a similar protocol using this USB Type-C. So they should also do rapid charging on those Apple devices. And it's really up to the individual person. These will charge a phone. My phone is an HTC that will charge in about 45 minutes to an hour from about 5% battery. So it does charge quickly. Now, on the other hand, if you don't mind having your phone plugged in longer, you're charging it off the chair you're sitting in. With both of these chargers, you can drive your chair with the charger plugged in. Then, does it really matter if you're charging faster? That's a personal decision. For most people, the original chargers are probably just fine. They are a little bit less expensive because the components are less expensive. The circuit boards in these are more expensive. The cases are more expensive. The cases have to be machined. The 90-degree connectors actually cost substantially more than the straight connectors. There's just more expense here, so they cost more. So that's really up to you which one of those you want. These are a 3D printed housing. These are a purchased housing that I actually put in my CNC mill and mill a wire hole and then a USB hole on the other end. So both of these just have USB-A ports out. For true maximum power delivery, they call it, you need a USB-C connector on both the charger end and your device end. This won't do that. This does not do true full power delivery. That can go up over 20 volts. And they just don't design circuits for that. They have AC wall circuits, but even most phone or most car chargers won't handle that actual power delivery. But this is a close second. It'll still, like I say, charge your phone really fast. Now, because they're dumping so much power into your device so quickly, they do get hot. Like, that's the warning I give. This box will get really, really hot to the touch. Doesn't mean something's going wrong. That's just the power going through it. They have to dissipate a lot of heat. So if you're charging with one of these will get warm. These will get hot. So just something to be aware of. So yeah, that's where we're at as of today. Like I said, there's a couple things working on for later in the year, but all these are in stock, ready to go. Been kind of getting ahead on some stock to make sure that I have things ready to ship as spring comes. So appreciate you watching, and I hope that I can get more videos out, more products out, and if you have any questions, throw in the comments, or you can always email us at sales@crippleconcepts.com. Thanks a lot.